You ever get the feeling people want you to break just so they can say they were right about you? That's how it started for me just another morning on base, sun barely up, air sharp enough to cut, and a crowd already waiting for me to fail. Someone yelled from across the training yard, "Take off your shirt, or prove you're not a spy." I wish I could say I was surprised, but after everything I'd survived, this was nothing new, just a bunch of recruits and a sergeant looking for blood, and this time the blood was supposed to be mine. I didn't answer. Didn't need to. I just stared straight ahead, keeping my face neutral, but I could feel their eyes on me, searching for something, weakness maybe or shame. Instead, I lifted my shirt slow and steady and let the scars do the talking. You ever seen a room full of tough guys go dead silent in an instant? That's what happened. Every mark, every burn and jagged line proof of places I'd been that no map could show. The general stepped out right then, face pale as the moon hand, going to a salute so quick it almost made me laugh, except I knew better. Nobody moved. Nobody said a damn thing. Because they all recognized me, or at least the story last survivor of Vulture Nest. Thing is, I hadn't slept much that week. Hell, maybe I hadn't really slept in years. You get used to it after a while. That morning I showed up with a ratty backpack temporary assignment crumpled in my hand, and a look people read as trouble. The guard at the gate gave me the side eye, said something about logistics interns and cleaning mess halls. I let it go. I'd learned the hard way, words don't matter half as much as actions. Inside, things didn't get any better. There was this officer hero with a chest full of medals and a mouth full of venom. Loud showy made a whole scene about my clothes. My assignment basically called me a fraud in front of everybody. You know that type, they puff up, try to get everyone laughing at you because it makes them feel big. He snatched my paperwork, tossed it in the trash, told me to prove I belonged. His buddies egged him on. That's when Carver showed up, female officer, sharp eyes, boots so polished you could see your future in them. She didn't laugh, but she didn't step in either. Just watched curious, like maybe she was betting on how long I'd last. Harrow stepped close, voice dropping low, saying, "I'd have to show what I was hiding under my shirt if I wanted to stay. You know what I mean?" That kind of challenge, it's never about protocol. It's about humiliation, and everyone in the room felt it. My hands didn't shake, though. I looked him right in the eye, told him, "You don't want that." He laughed, thinking he'd already won. It almost turned ugly right there, but a clerk barely more than a kid shuffled up, holding a clipboard trying to get me to sign in. Harrow waved him off, but I took the pen anyway, carved my name sharp and clear. Kid went white as a sheet, recognized me from somewhere. Everyone else just kept watching. So I did what they asked. I pulled up my shirt, then the black undershirt underneath until the scars were all they could see, burns, stitches, places where skin met wire and never healed right. A giant V stitched into my shoulder, the word vulture half burned into my arm. Nobody made a sound. Not Harrow, not Carver, not the rest. You could hear the hum of the fluorescent lights and nothing else. A recruit young, barely old enough to shave, whispered, "How's anyone still alive after that?" Another called me a weapon like I'd chosen to be rebuilt. Third guy reached out to touch, but stopped, face gone, white knees, buckling. Fear'll do that when you see something you can't explain. I told them I'm not a weapon. I'm what happens when power forgets humanity. Some of them looked away. Others couldn't. A medic in the crowd, sharp-faced, asked whose side had done that to me, like the scars were some kind of confession. I just said, "Does it matter?" and let it hang. Then the General Austin came in, the whole room snapping to attention like the past had just walked in. He saw me, real recognition in his eyes, then turned to everyone, announced right then that anyone who'd touched me was gone, discharged on the spot. She's not just a person. She's a frozen legend. I almost laughed. Only legends I'd ever known were the dead. Word spread through the base fast as fire. Recruits whispered by the trucks, trying to make sense of what they'd seen, some calling me a plant, others swearing I was a ghost, a test, or maybe just bad luck. An old-timer said, "She's the one they left behind," and the rest just stared, not sure whether to believe him or not. The officers weren't much better. Harrow tried to act tough, but started packing up his things. Carver kept her distance. None of them wanted to look at me now. And then there was Ellis, a kid maybe 19, holding a water bottle so tight it looked like it might burst. She didn't laugh or mock. She just watched me, saw something familiar, maybe even hopeful. When I passed, I nodded, just enough for her to notice, and saw her eyes go wide, tears starting before she could stop them. That's when I realized sometimes it's not the big gestures that matter. Sometimes it's just letting someone know they're not alone. Anyway, as I made my way to the control room, a tech dropped a file at my feet, classified, red stamp edges, yellowed by time. I handed it back, told him I'd seen worse. His hands shook, but he got the message. In the control room, General Austin waited. I handed over a small device, call it a key, call it a secret, doesn't matter. He scanned it and up popped a hologram, National Asset Level 0. Command override. Immediate execution authority. There it was. Not just a survivor, but someone with the power to end things, any threat anywhere at her own discretion. General Austin looked tired, like remembering the cost of keeping secrets. Meanwhile, outside, the story was already blowing up. Somebody had filmed everything. Scars salute the fallout. And now it was everywhere. Social feeds lighting up. By the time I walked out, Harrow was gone for good, a couple of other recruits trying to explain themselves on the phone. A journalist had caught the whole thing and was torn between uploading the clip or hiding it. In the end, she hit send, and within minutes my story wasn't just rumor but proof. As I headed out, the base felt different, like the air had cleared everyone a little quieter, a little more careful with each other. Then a black SUV pulled up, driver's door opening to reveal my husband, a man who carried his own scars you couldn't see. He just nodded at me, took my backpack, opened the door. No words. Didn't need any. One soldier, older, limp in his steps, stopped us. "Ma'am, I was at Red Forest. Not in the mission, but after. I saw what was left. Thank you." All I could do was nod and tell him, "Keep going." Sometimes that's all you can say. As we pulled away, the sun setting behind the base, I leaned back, let the scars disappear beneath my shirt, felt the steady hum of the road. My husband's hand found mine. After all that noise, all those accusations, it was enough. You ever been judged, torn apart just for showing up? You ever keep going even when the world wants you to quit? That's what I carried out with me. Not bitterness, not pride, just the proof that survival is its own answer. And the world, well, it can decide for itself what's justice and what's just noise. So I'm asking you, where do you stand on stories like this? Who was right? Who was wrong? What would you have done? Drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about justice community or just about surviving the impossible. Hit follow if you want more stories that don't flinch from the hard stuff. I'll see you on the next walk.
Xin chào các bạn, mình là Trinh, mình phụ trách viết content. Trên đây là những công việc của mình là mình lên mạng xã hội tìm hiểu những video
Vamos supor, você falou negócio sério.
Hey, if you guys have any trouble, let somebody know, please.
After the tree to hold on to.
Yeah, they're defend.